great club. And
Yes, people. Welcome to NAF. Who's got that in the background? Yeah, mad. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Nice little Friday, you know, Juma Mubarak to all my Akis, and also happy Friday to everyone else, period. We're going to be talking about what's in the title. You know, James Pearce comes out, Liverpool not to spend in January. We've got Arsenal keen on Kudus, and that's actually been recycled the last couple of weeks. I just didn't really want to talk about it, to be fair. It's going to annoy me. And then obviously AMORIM, we're going to do some AMORIM Man United predictions as well. So do smash the likes. The live was set up a little bit late. Blame once, blame COD zombies. Realistically, I'm not trying to take any accountability, but that's the one, isn't it? I mean, as you can see, once is the last one on stage. Shock. But yeah, man, what you man saying, man? It's the international break's actually going kind of quick for me, you know. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like this has been for content creator anyways. I feel like it's been needed slightly. I don't feel like subjects are thin either. But what are you man saying? Because obviously, George, you
still got another week, yeah. Still got another week.
I think we're all right, you know. I think we're all right.
I fucking hate international.
Well, international is fucking
boring.
You know, this one compared to the other ones, like for me, it's like it hasn't been that sad. Like I'm thinking, like, right, it's Friday. I'm going out.
I'll be real, bro. You say that because you're doing so many streams. Like you've got to find stuff to talk about. But I'll be real, it's boring, bro. Let's be honest. It's absolutely dead. It's boring. We're clutching at straws. There's some decent stuff, but even the transfer stuff we haven't really seen. Usually this time of year, you actually hear some teams are like sort of tapping up deals like, oh, this is almost agreed, this is being put in place for January, this target. We ain't really seen much. It seems like for me it's been boring, innit? It's been boring, like not much to look at. And I don't watch international football as well, so that makes it even worse.
Them ones, what you say? Yeah, if you ain't seen Chez's stream yesterday, I can't lie, Chez owes me money, man. Chez owes me money, man.
Yeah, man, said a big panel.
Man said a 2.5 hour stream, yeah. It was fun though, I'm not gonna lie, but man said 2.5 hours. Are you out of your damn mind?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, bro. You know what? Yeah, for me, Dean. Yeah, you know it's Dean for me, man. Dean's like, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Dean, yeah. If from Fam's on TV, if you don't know, it's Dean's top right's his cousin. Dean's the older one. Clearly, he's a bit like an older brother kind of setting, isn't it? You know when you get cheeky to the older brother, and then it is what it is, and it's just always the back and forth with him, isn't it?
Yeah, always. You two got your little thing going on, man. You know, at war all the time, bro. Even in person, when we met up on Tuesday, these two are always going back and forth constantly, man.
Yeah, man. So it was a good stream, man. I'm thinking about like, bro, that Chez, I'm gonna have to take that idea. You know, remember that next week.
I know. You done well. You had a good idea this time.
Yeah.
You done well, but I was thinking, I can't believe you done that before me.
IVD, you look like you need some sunlight, man. What's going on?
No, I could turn on my light, but the fucking
no. You look alright, but it's like you're in vampire settings right now.
Okay, open the curtains, yeah. But then again, look at the glare, mad. So I thought, just fucking do it. Like, just you know what I can do. Instead of I'm doing the budget thing, yeah, go onto Google, type in white screen. Boom! Look at that, and then the second monitor shines off the light. That's budget, you know. That's ghetto settings right there. My top monitor's my light. That's mental, innit?
Not a bad idea.
It's not.
It works, so innit? That's what I've been doing since all the time now, you know.
It's not a bad idea.
Let me ask, off topic though, Jules, man. Again, I think we ain't spoken since Monday properly, innit? I think Monday. Like, how are we feeling about Tottenham, man?
Feel good. I released a video this morning to let everyone know I'm still Ange in. I don't know why the discourse and everyone's going mad. Everyone's, you know, Ange out, all of this. They're throwing their toys out the pram. When the stocks get low, I buy more. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Buying more stocks in Ange, and I think he's eventually going to come around good. So things ain't great on the, you know, grand scheme of things, looking at the table and that. But when I look at the bigger picture, I still see that we're going to be going forwards in a successful way under this manager. So all things look good now.
I agree with you, man. I feel like as a for Tottenham, I feel like this is probably one of the first few times in the last few years that I felt like they can beat any team or they can compete with any team. Like I say this all the time to people when they talk about Tottenham, even as a rival fan. Tottenham are the only team that I've seen dominate Man City in all the year in the last few seasons. That was the game the last year at home when we needed Tottenham to win. That's the only time that I've really seen Tottenham or a team dominate Man City. So I wouldn't even, when Tottenham fans are saying Ange out and this and that, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that even the way he plays, you're not going to get a sustainable way of football so early. You got to let him get into it and figure it out. He's just come over. Only been there a year. What is it?
And that's the thing, yeah. I'll be real. I think some Spurs fans are entitled. Some Spurs fans are way too entitled because they must think that a manager comes in 2 seasons later, he's going to be taking us to a title challenge or something, which is absolute rubbish. And also, they seem to think that, because we've done it in the past, sacking managers quick is the right way forward. It's not the right way forward. Just because clubs do it and it's seen as you need to sack. Like, if you give manager time and you let them play out the process, they're going to get their team and they're going to, find their way of playing, and it's going to set in a lot better than, giving each manager 18 months to perform or get them gone. It's just silly. And as the Spurs fan base right now, it's all over the place, understandably, after the big loss against Ipswich. I get it. But ultimately, they need to calm down, man. It's, as you said, there's so many other metrics to look at and see how we're performing better than we have been in the past couple of years. And no manager's going to go it's never all the way up. It's never straight linear upwards in the manager. It's up, down, up, down. And right now, we're just going through the down, man. We'll be straight back.
But you know what I even say as well, I even say to people, the difference is when you say you want to sack a manager or whatever, okay, you're basically saying when it comes down to, say, Tottenham and Arsenal and teams like Liverpool are building clubs. So if you're a club that wants to build and go through the process, you're basically asking Tottenham to change their ethos. You're not just asking them to sack a manager. You're actually asking them to change their institution. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Tottenham tried to do. That they tried to bring in the Mourinhos and the Contes and say, listen, let's just go for winning football. They've done it. You can't then complain and say, why don't you sack this manager? They've tried that twice in recent years. And he tried to actually say, listen, let me go and try something different, and it didn't work. I mean, it didn't work to the fans. If the owners thought it did, but the fans didn't think it worked.
Do you know the best thing about when Tottenham lose, especially, is you just know as soon as I click on TikTok and I scroll a couple times, Jordan Durag Diaries just pops up. That's the best part. And then I said, oh wait, hold on, Deji might have done the video. Let me go watch that. And then I'm like, hold on, Expressions might have dropped that little 1 minute and 30 clip that we all know. That's the best part. I think Ange out is a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, I think the criticisms are correct as well. The
criticisms that he gets criticized for are things that you would want your manager to be saying.
I
always win in my second season.
Why is that
used against him?
No, it's not pretty much. It's not about the things he says.
Talking about obviously,
it's sometimes it's being a little bit tactically naive to some of the players that you got and not trying to adapt a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I think Arteta.
But that's what I'm saying. You get criticised for not adapting, and then Arteta who adapts a lot, gets criticised for not playing good football. You can't have it both ways.
I don't know if he done that exactly, but I remember there was a lot of harsh critics last year for Arteta not adapting or trying to change. Oh, wait, maybe it was a couple. Actually, no, it was before the stint when you had your first kind of title push. Do you remember? There was criticism about Arteta doesn't know how to switch up and all this kind of stuff. I think it's just energy for energy at the end of the day. It's just because it is Spurs, don't mean you get a blight. But I like Ange personally, innit? And when he's in his bag, he really is in his bag. I think he's in his Ten Hag bag at the moment, but I think he can get out of that at the same time because
he's nowhere near that. He's nowhere near the Ten Hag bag.
No, it's in his interviews. I mean, but I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
But within everything else, I don't think the club's backed. I don't think they backed him correctly, bro. I'm so consistent about this.
They gave him what he wanted.
No, but I don't.
That's what I said in my video. And I'll be honest. That's what I've said in my video. I don't think he's been backed. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think he has.
I don't think we don't think.
In what way?
All right. Can I take this part? Yeah, from a rival's view, yeah, is for me is you can give him a couple kids. That's great. Archie Gray, solid player. I think he was wicked for Leeds, especially can play multiple positions as well. But I think the other one is he shouldn't be really near the first team setup at the moment. Make first team training, but not the first team. I reckon they could have went out and got something a little bit different. Werner was there. That's great. But you can clearly see that Tottenham didn't really need a mad abundance in midfielders. You can get a midfielder. I think they needed a box-to-box. Found Kulusevski to go there instead, doing a great role. Now, what about the right-hand side? Like, and then they got, what's his name? Odegaard. He ain't been there. There's Son, don't get me wrong. But I just think there's a little bit more lack of quality sometimes when it comes to that attacking third, which I think they didn't back him with, especially. I think
how much more do you want him to back him with?
So I think they're missing, for me, I think they're missing a defender, especially a centre-back, especially a centre-back for me. Like, if Van der Ven gets injured, then it's like, who's the next one there? It can't be Davies. The left-back they could have gave him. They didn't give him that for me either. And then I still stand by, I know they got Solanke there, but I reckon they needed to address the left-hand side regardless.
You can't say they need to address the left-hand side when he
100%.
got human.
I need to ask you a question because you keep saying what more, or you're saying what more, or who else? How has he been back so far? I know we've brought in a few players and there's been a few additions and so on, but if you look at this summer, very underwhelming transfer window. We didn't bring in as many players as we needed. We let go of more than we brought in. And our squad got smaller than it was last season. Very similar to Arsenal. We didn't address all the positions where we had weaknesses. And now you're looking at the team where we have 3 or 4 competitions to play and we don't have the change up. The drop off from team 1 to team 2 is massive. And I'm not being funny. Half of this team are leggy. You're looking at Udogie, who didn't have a pre-season, leggy. Has to play every game at left back because we have no backup at left back. And then right back, the same as Pedro Porro, no excuse, but ultimately he doesn't get the rest time. He doesn't get no time to rest because he's demanded to play and he doesn't have no one to challenge him in his position. Jed Spence is there, but he's been a bit injured. Probably could get used, but we don't have the competition there. And the lack of competition breeds this mentality that, we can afford to lose some, or not afford to lose some of these games, but you know what players are like? If there's no competition pushing them on, they're not going to play at their best. It's just simple like that.
I don't know, man. Looking from the outside in, when I'm seeing you spending on Solanke and then buying Odegaard and then buying Gray and then buying all these players, it seems like he got the players that he wanted. He was backed, and you just got as many as you could get in. Yeah, not every.
If you look at the original players,
12 players, or go on.
No. But if you look at the original players, we ended up with Odegaard, but our original number 1 target was Neto. It's fair to say that Odegaard was of a very similar profile and probably worked our way down the list after we figured out we couldn't get Neto. But the reason we couldn't get Neto was about £5 million. Spurs bid 40 million or 45, but didn't want to pay the extra money. And the same thing goes for central midfield. We brought in Archie Gray because we didn't want to pay the money for Conor Gallagher. It's neither here or there whether I wanted Gallagher. I didn't. That's regardless of the point. But we wanted a proven player, and we ended up with a young player that's unproven, and that's where it's at. We wasn't given the quality and depth that I think Ange wanted. He got players that he's happy with because these are still talented, but they're not the top.
I'm in agreement with you, man. I'm in agreement with you, man. Because again, you know what it is when you have that one style, it's like putting in the player to also fit that position. Like obviously, with Arteta, like, you know, if Marino comes in, really and truly, he's quite like Declan Rice a little bit for the role that he has been playing in the 8. It should be like a like for like for me, innit? Calafiori comes in and Timber, bit different profiles, but I'll liken Calafiori more to a Ben White, but just on the other side. It's kind of a like for like, and you can put Timber on the other side or whoever else at left back just to keep the balance. You know, like I'm just comparing it in that way. Like my man said, if a Udogie comes out, you ain't got no one that could do what Udogie does.
This is in hindsight. This is in hindsight.
But if Van der Ven comes out, they needed someone like a Diamonde who's a bit more.
But they bought Dragusin.
It's not in hindsight though.
Yeah. No, but
it's not in hindsight because if you watch the shows in the summer, we all pretty much.
But Dragusin is always like you said.
I remember.
One sec. Like you said, no matter with your second squad, you said this yesterday or the other day. There's always going to be that drop off. Really and truly, Dragusin's a little bit more like Romero. He shouldn't be doing that Van der Ven high line bullshit. He needs someone next to him to do that with him because he has got a little bit of pace, but it's stiff. Not quite Romero, but they got that extra profile when they were looking at 2 centre backs in his first stint. It's night and day drop off for me. Jed Spence and Porro, you can kind of have that. I think Jed Spence started the season really well, but I just don't think he's really got the tools. Let's just say he ain't got the tools. I'm not saying that he can't escape criticism at the same time. I think there's fair. I think it's both. Both can be right.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean I ain't going to slander them though. It doesn't mean I ain't going to slander them.
I feel like Ange was given. Well, I mean, what you're not asking, you're saying Neto plus Conor Gallagher.
They wanted Eze. They wanted Eze as well.
Eze. I mean, you're asking him to spend 300 odd million in the summer. That's basically what you're saying. He wasn't backed because he didn't spend 300 million. That doesn't make sense. He got the players that he thought would get at the beginning of the season.
Spurs
I
have the
remember
money,
Tottenham
so
fans
not
were,
spending. It's not spending. We could have spent 300
yeah,
mil.
but Tottenham won Eze. Plus, they said we didn't get Eze, so he wasn't backed. He didn't get Neto, so he wasn't backed. He didn't get Conor Gallagher, so he wasn't backed. He didn't get a centre back. You're asking to spend 300 million.
Yeah, but if they spend that one extra, I'm going to say this: if they spend that little bit of like 30 to 40 million, I think you can scout a centre back these
But
days.
On who? You're saying
where it's a tap sober, where it's even obviously Diamante might have cost a little bit too much, and Gonzalo Inacio is quite fast.
Listen,
He's
you
known
get
for
your
that.
money.
You know, for his pace. I'm not saying he's going to start, but I'm just trying to say options. No one's got pace like Van der Ven, don't get me wrong, but one extra player when Van der Ven does get injured, because he's got a track record of getting a bit of an injury or not, then it's not, their defense might not.
You just have to look at it like this, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's very clear to see that if the reason was money, we would have been briefed about money. But no, the reasons Tottenham didn't bring in replacements is because they come out at the end of July and they said, "Oh, Archie Gray and Bergvall look so good in pre-season. We're not going to sign another midfielder." Oh,
and
what's the other one? There was another player. We've got a centre back, Luka Vuskovic. I don't know if you guys heard when we signed him. That 16-year-old is supposed to be one of the best centre backs at like his age.
Crazy.
We signed him, and it's we're not going to sign another centre back because we're not going to block his pathway into the first team next year. That's the problem. The director of football or Levy and co aren't signing players because they don't want to block the development of youngsters, but ultimately the youngsters aren't developing to the levels that we need them to quick enough. So Tottenham are never going to be competing because these players aren't reaching the level all at the same time. It's not like they're all peaking in the same season. So
I get what you're saying, but I remember at the beginning of the season, Spurs fans were all talking about Odegaard. Yeah, look how good he was at Burnley. I remember all of this. I remember them saying, "Yeah, Archie Gray, we got a great deal on Archie Gray." Oh yeah, I remember all of these things.
I don't remember Spurs fans saying this. I remember rival fans.
Yeah,
so you weren't happy with the Archie Gray signing?
You're on mute. You're on mute, Mons, by the way.
No, I said that it was more like I don't think Spurs fans were going crazy about their signings. It was because Solanke happened so late. Prior to Solanke, they were saying their window was like a 2 out of 10. That's what I remember.
Yeah, but this is a great segue.
Solanke was literally like the only thing they were.
This is a great segue, yeah, because James Pearce also said something yesterday. As much as Salah might be staying, and then we see another rumor saying Trent's in advanced negotiations with Real Madrid. James Pearce also came out and said that he'd be surprised if Liverpool go and do any business in January because Slot said that he's happy with his squad.
He says this every year.
Of course he's gonna say that though, isn't it? Like he's not gonna say, "Oh no, my squad ain't good enough, is it? We need more players." He's not gonna say that.
I think he might have been. I think Slot might have been surprised with some of the players in the squad. I think they've probably exceeded what he expected of some of them from just an initial view. Is that fair to say as well? Like he might have looked at Curtis Jones and said, "I don't know where he fits in my plans." Then all of a sudden, gets Jones to fitness. Man's looking like one of the better. I'm gonna say it in recent form, looking like one of the better attacking mids in Europe right now. Like one of the better ones, anyways. Not saying he's the best, just on form. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that. I think.
But
this is
but form is like players can go through good patches, bro. Like you know what I'm saying. It doesn't mean you don't. All of a sudden, what you've just said now is Daniel Levy-esque. Yeah, exactly. He's playing well now, so you know we don't need to improve the squad in the summer. We don't need to improve the squad in January. That's exactly what George was just talking about. You know what I'm saying? The players, literally. You know what I'm saying? Players playing well, or you know. So that's not for me to say that Curtis Jones isn't a good player. I think he's a good player. I think he just kind of needed the spotlight to kind of go and do what he needs to do. But I still think there's always additions. I always say we're light in that left centre back, left back area a little bit. Unless Joe Gomez is going to play there or cover there, which I don't think Slot sees him as a left back, even though I think his best position is there. You know, I still think we need another centre mid. I don't really know what's going on with Chiesa. Obviously, they're not going to turn their back on Chiesa straight away. He's not even been here that long, but obviously that's a little bit worrying what's going on over there. So I don't know, man. I think James Pearce comes out, Paul Joyce, these men say, "Oh yeah, not going to be much business from Liverpool all the time." You know, so I'm not really gonna, like if it's true, I don't mind because I think the squad does look quite well. You know, mid top of the league, we can't really complain. But listen, man, additions, you can never not welcome an addition to the squad because at the end of the day, look at the amount of injuries people are getting. I'm pretty sure Romero just got injured again. You know what I'm saying? Romero, yeah.
Oh yeah, he just got re-injured, didn't he? In his right foot.
Yeah, like you're looking at now, them man have to go Jagoose. You know what I'm saying? Jagoose, you know, like, you can do all that now. You know what I'm saying? I know, George. I know. And then obviously you guys have got Arsenal who are getting injuries from the Nations League. Ake got his knee crunched in the Nations League. Like this is dead, bro. Like it's dead. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we're good. Like come on, man. So for me, it is what it is, isn't it? Like I'd rather see the links to Zubimendi or something again, or one of these. I saw a link to Ryan Cherky today from the Quip, but you know that is a dream for me. That's a dream for me. That is a dream for me.
He doesn't remind me. I saw that, yeah, and I just look. I think it's just his age of maybe he's been trying to get a move away for time, but you know, he nearly went to Fulham, rejected them anyways in the end, and then he got Smith Rowe regardless. But I'm just thinking,
special footballer, bro.
But my thing is like, as much as he's great on the ball and he's more of a streets like we'll never forget type baller, I just off the ball. If it comes to like what Slot likes and whatever, from what I can see, he don't fit in nowhere.
Nah, man. You see, this is the thing about tens, bro. I know the position's dying and that, and I know it's all about how much running you got to do as well. But I'm sorry, yeah. You see, this guy technically, I think man just think because he's coming from where he's coming from. Is it Leon? Because he's at Leon on that. Man, I think he's gonna come to the Premier and end up like Remy Cabella and that. This guy is tapped.
Yeah,
bro.
he's teched off, but off the ball, he's awful. And also, second of all,
I can't lie.
I don't want to label it too much.
Coach, bro. That can be coached,
one last year, but the last part is like is been well known. It's been well documented even to know that his attitude is not up to scratch. But this season might not be the same as last season because he is quite young. He might have grown into more mature, to be fair. He might have a different approach. Like, so I think it's you're allowed as a youngster to have a little bit of an attitude, but if you want to be at the top of the game, you have to change up fast. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion. Yeah, that's how I'm viewing it. Exactly the same.
I don't know, man.
Man's got a little pot belly as well, man. You know them little ones where you
got
that little pot belly. He likes that tagine and shisha, man. After a game, we all know it, man. We all know it,
bro. Let him make the move. Let him make the move first, and we'll see it. Because whatever team he goes to are going to be very, very lucky. This guy is head and shoulders above it. Most man in that Leon team, innit? You know what I'm saying? He just watching him like, bro. I watch certain Leon games now just to see bro play, bro. Just to see man play. And
big up.
The more I'm seeing him play, I'm thinking this guy's got it, bro. He just got it.
Technically, he's one of the best young players in the world.
He's
just on a technical thing. He's a big time baller. I wanted him so bad at Chelsea, but then, funnily enough, when we were linked, it was like we're not going to go for him because of his attitude and defensive work rate. So we ended up passing on him. But he's a big time baller, man. Whoever bags him. You give him a role, where he's a bit on his own. Like, obviously, maybe he's a bit young to say he gets a free role or whatever. But
no, just coach him, bro.
If he performs,
coach him to say, coach him. If you don't do X amount, you won't play, no matter how good you are. That's it's fine to say that to a young player. Like, you're coming to a bigger team now. This is what you got to do on top of what you're good at. It's all right to say that.
To be fair, what I'm saying, Madueke was seen as someone with an attitude and wasn't really running about. But then you look at him this season. And
actually, he still has an attitude. Now.
Still has an attitude. Walking,
moaning every minute.
He's still running.
Walking down the tunnel.
He's always
apparently that was to go toilet.
Oh, you know what? If that's the case, fair enough. We've all been there, innit?
What do you mean? Apparently, who told you
that? Someone that knows him.
The same source that told you breaking news. Yes, last night. Same source that told you breaking news.
Trent's leaving for free for Real Madrid at the end of the season, bro.
Yeah, I've also clocked the clock.
Why didn't he sign a contract then? How come he hasn't signed a contract? What's the reason for that?
Negotiations, isn't it? Negotiations.
I'm going to be honest. I think Trent's going to be Trent's going to be a miss for Liverpool when he does. I think he does leave, and I do actually reckon.
Leaving,
I've got the odd feeling that
does. Or you want him to leave?
No, I do. No. Look, I know you got the hopium.
He's already achieved everything at Liverpool, isn't he?
I do reckon he does leave. Like, I think for his career to move on a little bit as well, like for himself, maybe on a view, anyways. Just from what I'm reading, I don't know him or anything, but from my assumptions, anyways, I think he does leave for Real Madrid. But I don't think he can't. I'm not saying he can't be replaced, but he will be. I think he can be replaced in this slot system, not easily, but it can be managed for sure. for someone else that has a bit more of a different
Let's
ability.
be honest, man. Replacing a right back's not that hard.
Yeah, like compared to, I'm comparing it to like a set. We had this conversation compared to a we had it at the start of Chez's video compared to a Van Dijk or a Salah. A little bit of a difference. Is that? Do you get what I mean by that? A little bit is. I think you can replace a bit more of a Trent than you can Van Dijk at this moment. Van Dijk's the best centre back in the world right now. Yeah, Salah is the best right wing in the world right now as well, in my opinion. So replacing that is a bit difficult. It's like trying to replace Haaland all of a sudden. It's like, fuck. How's that going to happen?
I think Trent's a bit different, though. I feel like Trent is more like he'd basically be their captain for the next 10 years, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So I feel like his situation is a little bit different because you can't plan to have a Trent, and then you can't plan for him to be leaving either. You always plan for a Trent. Trent's still young, so I feel like him leaving is a big issue, man.
It could be a motive.
If he signs a new contract, he'll probably be the highest paid player at the club.
I think this is
the highest paid. I mean,
if he signed a new contract, he probably would be.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I don't know. Just we can only go off reports in it and the feeling towards it. Maybe it's a PR thing. Maybe it's just a media
When Real Madrid come calling, it's hard to turn that down.
It's easy to say
when you've achieved everything as well.
Man. I think it's easy to say.
No, but we've got it with Saliba as well.
Well, you don't because no one really talks about it as much. But my point is that
yes, they do.
My point is that the player can't speak to clubs until January. Yet the constant Spanish outlets are saying that negotiations are going well.
No, but you can't. But you can though. No, but you can.
No, you can't.
Them.
No, you can't.
Bro,
until January, you can't speak to other clubs. You can't.
No, you mean officially? Yeah, of course, officially. But come on,
let's be honest.
No, wait, one sec. Let me get this because this could be educational slightly. Yeah, what I've read up with Real Madrid, they're not looking to get him on a free anymore. They're looking to get him on a permanent in January potentially. No.
All right.
Can you
that doesn't mean you can talk. That doesn't mean you can talk to the player if you want to get him in January.
Can they talk to the agent? Can they talk to the agent?
No, bro, the rules are he's free to talk, and you can even
that doesn't. You know they're talking. I know they're talking, bro. We all know what happened.
Innit, man? That's like saying
they're talking.
Man can say the rules are the rules, yeah, but let's not act like that's like saying to me that
football players are calling each other, bro. They're calling each other, talking to each other.
Bro, we did it with Van Dijk, and we have to pay an extra 25. I'm not worried. We did it with Van Dijk.
You're worried, man. It's all right, man. I would be as well, man.
As I said,
I'm saying,
bro, can I land? We did it with Van Dijk, and we had to pay an extra 25 million and send out a public apology for illegally tapping up the player. You know what I'm saying? Like, Spanish outlets are obviously going to push this way more than what the outlets are over here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's not happening. But the outlets that are saying negotiations are going well, like it's not as in your face because if that was the case, then they'd be getting fined.
If that's the case, then when you got Cody Gakpo so fast at Degution, yeah, and there was reports beforehand when you remember United talking with Gakpo trying to get him in that January as well, like what? So they didn't talk then. You got straight away.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, bro. Again, we know it happens, innit? Because I said we got fined for it, bro. I know it happens.
Yeah, but your whole segment there said they're not allowed to. That's like me saying that Omar Barada wasn't talking to flipping and Dan Ashworth weren't talking to the club all that time.
But it's on the point.
Of course they do.
It's on. Yeah, of course they do. But I'm not saying. I don't mean it's right. I'm just saying that the clubs are the outlets that are pushing it. If it wasn't, if it was as obvious, if Revo's saying, everything's kind of in place and contracts are looking good and that, you're like, wait,
then it's illegal. Then
you know what I'm saying? So I can understand if the player's interest is there and they're ready to start negotiations. But they can't say it's as plain obvious as what Revo makes it out to be.
But if it's a permanent, I'm trying to understand this, yeah, because I thought they're only allowed to talk to a player in the last 6 months if they want him in the summer. If they want him on a permanent, I'm pretty sure they're allowed to negotiate with the club and Trent or whatever at any
probably
time.
With like the agent or something. Probably like with some sort of, you know what I'm saying? There can be some sort of communication.
That's what I'm trying to think. I didn't know if you would be able to.
But obviously when January passes, then obviously he can sign a pre-contract. It can be like a pre-agreement. There's bare things you can do as soon as that January. And that's same with Salah and Van Dijk, by the way. That's not just with Trent. Like you can sign a pre-contract with another club.
If he's to go in January, what would you accept as a? What would you actually a question for everyone? What would you? But first months, what would you accept as a reasonable figure for having
90 million.
6 months left. For 6
90
months
million.
left. 90 million?
Oh,
90
don't know
million.
about that.
Real Madrid are not paying 90 million for Trent.
And then
The
they
guy
can
they
wait
can get
till
for free.
the summer.
Yeah, then they will.
Yeah, then that's
You'd
fine.
rather lose him on a
will.
free
That's fine.
than grab like a quick 50 million or whatever.
Lose him on a free is crazy.
But if they're going for League and Champions League,
we're going
I'm not gonna lie.
for the league, bro. We're going for the league. So for me, I'm a shrewd businessman. Pay up the big bucks or fuck off till the summer. And Trent won't play.
I hear it.
And he won't play.
No, you know what? I hear it.
If Trent wants to force his way out the club, he just won't play.
He won't play.
If he wants to force his way out the club in January, don't play him. Don't play him. Say no to him.
If you're having that
you might
stance,
as well
you're better off selling him in January then. Get the money then. If you think that stance, isn't it? There's no point keeping him and letting him go for free
and
you're
not playing him. Yeah, that's a bit.
sense.
That's not shrewd business, is it?
No. But
you said you're
You're shrewd businessman.
It's not about. Well, it is. No. Hold on. Well, it is. Well, it is. I said if he wants to force his way out of the club, by the way. If he doesn't want to force his way out of the club and he's happy to stay and play, then that's fine. But if he's trying to force his way out of the club, then no, he doesn't play, because what message does that send to the rest of the squad?
No, if he stays, he has to play. That's the whole point.
What message does that send to the rest of the squad?
It sends a message that you're going to play and win us titles. That's the whole point. Win a Champions
League. Yeah, then that's why you man don't win
titles.
titles. That's the way you man operate. That's why you man don't.
No, you're saying that you're not going to sell it. You're not going to sell him, and they're not going to play. So you're going to go for free.
That's not what I said. What I said was that if he refuses and he wants to, like, he's trying to force the move, if he's the one trying to push the move in January, then he will not play. He will not play then.
Sold. If he's pushing the move in January, he needs to be sold.
And if they meet our evaluation, we're not going to lowball. We're not lowballing. By the way, I said 90 million because that's me. If Liverpool valued him at 50 million in January and they deem that fair enough, then sell him. But then you're not gonna lowball or lowball any like sort of price for Trent, and then he's trying to force the move. He's not gonna play. Pay the money. If you don't want to pay the money, he don't play. You get him in the summer for whatever, for his sign-on fee, whatever he wants to get, and then it's as simple as that. If he forces the move, if he doesn't force the move, then of course he can play. Of course he can play. If he forces the move, that's disrespectful. That's disrespect. And then if the club's gonna tolerate disrespect just because it's Trent, what message does it send to everyone else in the squad?
It's not about that. It's about said if he's forcing the move, then
it is about, bro. It is about that.
But why is if you say it's about forcing the move, if you want to force a move, then go. That's how it is. It's not about forcing the move and keeping him hostage. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, force the move, but then go. You're going on our terms, bro.
January is our terms.
I get what Monty's saying. Listen, I think you gotta put it this way. If he forces a move, and he's saying, listen, I want to leave, and then they come in and Real Madrid see it and like, yeah, cool. Is 20 million, and you go, hold on a minute, and I'm not sure about that. Like, I'd rather have him there just in case things get resolved for the rest of the season. Then I want to move him. I'd rather lose him on the free. I'd rather have him as the option than lose him for a stupid price like 20 million. Like, if they came in with like 40, 45 million, I'd be like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's why I said if they lowballed us, if they lowballed us, say like, yeah, cool, he wants to leave, yeah, cool, yeah, here's like you said, here's 25 million. What?
That's taking the piss. Like,
come on, man.
I'd rather keep him. You can't.
It's easy for us to say as fan, but as a business owner that are looking at money
that's false as well. Bro.
It's easy to say. Oh yeah, you're not going to take this 20 or 30 million, but them losing Trent on a free. That's
20 or 30 million. You know, we sold Fabio Carvalho for 27 million.
But my point is, you said let's imagine you was the owner. You said your value would be 90. That's what you said. So if they don't offer 90,
that's me though.
Yeah, but I'm putting you in the situation. I'm saying if they come in and they don't offer 90, let's say they offer 60, you're going to say no, keep him, and we can go in the summer because your valuation is 90, isn't it?
Yeah, my valuation is 90. So if they
don't give you 90, he's staying and go for free in the summer.
Yeah, but there's such thing as negotiations, bro. You can negotiate down.
So what's the lowest that you would sell him for in January?
Okay, me not trolling. The lowest I'd sell him for is 50 M's. 50 M's.
So if they offer 50 M's in January, you think that you think that's fair?
I think it's fair in it because obviously there's 6 months left. But realistically, like I feel like the fact that they could get him on a free in January is kind of difficult to say who has the cards, who deals the cards right now. Obviously, Liverpool do the cards because we have the player. But if you look at Real Madrid's stature, if you look at the position Liverpool are in right now in terms of trying to go for the league, I think Trent's importance doesn't just go as a normal season for Liverpool. If Liverpool are still in all 4 competitions, top of the league, we're through to the Champions League knockouts, then Trent's valuation is more than what you'd say for any player on a 6 month that's got 6 months left on their contract and is able to sign 3 contracts.
This weirdo's been following me. Leave me alone, fam. No,
bro.
Donna Cullen is a Tottenham board member and he keeps following me, man. Leave me alone, bro. I told you, if you want another Tottenham fan, I would swing them your way.
Last question. I know you talked about obviously like going for the titles and stuff, but if Liverpool were to not make anything significant in January, then what does that tell you about FSG and Liverpool really?
It doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything I already don't know about the owners. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as I said, you got like Chelsea's owners and probably City's owners are probably the 2 sets of owners that will just add without selling, or you know what I'm saying? Them man will just actually, rather than, you know what I'm saying? I'll give that to them. But
that would be a sheg. It would be
but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't like proper strong links to like Zubimendi or something like that in the.
Do you reckon like if they're not getting their first target, then dead?
Yeah. I only say that because there's certain players in the squad that are not being used, or if you're being used, you're getting them here in a damn minute. So I'm telling you right now, that's what it is. Because if you look at Endo, you can just tell man don't rate Endo. Like it's clear as day, man don't rate Endo.
Player, you can tell he's doing his role.
Yeah,
he's doing his job when he requires him. At least he's giving him some opportunities. Like you're playing, do your job, sorted.
Yeah, you know like the club's already worried about Chiesa. I don't know how true that is. So okay,
that got rubbished off. He already got rubbished off by Fabrizio.
You can look at that. You can look at the Darwin Núñez thing. I think Darwin Núñez could probably stay, but I think even Núñez, like the second Jota's fit, he's, you know what I'm saying, he's kind of back in the team, and Núñez isn't really in favor. So for me, I think Slot is very particular. Obviously, them man were like Zubimendi or nothing. I don't really agree with that. I think you should always go for your second and third choices. Most of our world-class players are second and third choice, by the way. Like, literally. So, you know, I don't know, man. I think I'd rather see someone come through the door personally, just because, bro, you're going for the league. Like, do you know, like when we lost our centre backs and they gave us Kabak and they recalled Reece Williams and promoted Nat Phillips to the first team to try and take us to the rest of the title, and ended up losing 6 home games in a row. I've never like that one. I'm not even the same guy because of that shit. I'm not even the same guy anymore, bro. That one changed me for life, bro. Bro, that changed me, bro. We were top of the league with no centre backs, blood, and they gave us Kabak and recalled Reece Williams. Are you is man mad? Is man mad?
Maybe. But I was gonna say this as well. Well, just to wrap up on that part. Anyways, look, there's over 650 people in here. I think there's only 137 likes. The ratio stinks. The ratio stinks heavily in it. And if you're on dark mode, really and truly, the like button should be looking like me and VD. If you're on light mode, the color of the fun button should be looking like Monts and D. So if they ain't done yet, make sure you just exit your live chats. Live chat's only it's just a quick button of X on your phones, and then all you got to do is scroll down a little sec, and then it says like the video, like, or it doesn't say it, but there's a little icon. I could show you guys if you want me to. If you wonder where the like button is, I'd be used to do that. I'm used to get extra likes from that. To be fair, I could show you on my phones. I've got a camera that can zoom in and all sorts. So if anyone wants a tutorial, let me know. If you don't know how to do it, but yeah, look, Jules will be back in a second. Arsenal keen on Kudus. Not the first time this has been said, by the way, and. Obviously, it's just maybe a short list of players. But if there's anyone that Arsenal could do with right now, whether it's left or the right or down the middle in any capacity, or even to the point where if someone needs a bit of an Ødegaard, like if Ødegaard is injured, why couldn't Kudus do that role, right? You know, where Trossard's been playing all of a sudden behind the striker.
Kudus is probably a bit more of a dribbler, but that's what we need for.
Yeah.
We need Kudus badly. We need Kudus. We need someone. We need guys that dribble with the ball and running power. That's what we need badly. We need a striker and we need a left. Or someone that can dribble and power. But I've been seeing links to Isaac as well. So.
Yeah, but if you used to go and get an Isaac and a Kudus, like our main players that we're gonna go for the summer is Kudus and let's say Isaac.
Yeah, but to get Isaac and you're talking about in the summer, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course.
Isaac and Kudus would cost us at least 200 mil.
So I think in this I don't know if it's this January. I remember because they put a clause on like 3 windows or something like that before he gets an 85 million release clause or sign or 80 million.
Kudus,
Kudus, something like that. is I don't know if it's this January or the summer, but I'm gonna guess it's this summer. But I know Liverpool are hot for Kudus if in case he's gonna replace Salah potentially, and obviously that would be his main position is off the right more time. But with West Ham, even off the left, like he's still just as good.
Yeah, but I don't think they would probably spend as much as we would spend on that position because they've got players in that position now. They've got the Diaz's, they've got the Salahs. We generally need that. So it depends on...
Do you reckon they didn't spend this summer, you know?
No, but I mean that they've got other pressing needs. Innit? They need that midfielders. They need a striker in their mind. They got players that more pressing needs. They're not going to go and spend 100 million on Kudus and then spend another 100 million on another player unless Salah leaves. If Salah leaves, then fair enough. But he won't. I don't think he's leaving yet.
I don't think they spend 100 million on a striker personally, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think
maybe not so much on the striker, but I feel like you probably have more pressing matters. Like specifically, we generally need. You know what I mean? Like Kudus can stay in London. You got a few little bits that you can just say, listen, come over here, and you'll probably play a bit more as well. Over there, it'd be more of a rotation, wouldn't it? Currently,
and you promise some trophies.
I'm not getting into this back and forth with Bots. Bots is just trying to. I know what he's trying to do. You see what Bots? That's what Bots does. He tries to bait you out. He flings the worm. He flings the worm in, and you think I'm gonna buy it onto the way. It's not gonna happen today, Bots.
Bro, like I'm just saying, like all these things, it matters, man. It matters. All I'm saying is,
you lot doing your thing. You lot doing your thing, man. We'll see in 5, 10
I'm not saying bro. Listen, we could end up finishing second, and you man go and get an FA Cup or something. All of a sudden, you got a better season than us. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no. We'll see, bro. Right now, you lot are top dogs, innit? You lot are top dogs. No one can deny that. So you got all the banter, all the wordplay, all the monologues. Yeah, that's your thing.
Oh no, I'm like this anyway. But my point is,
yeah. But right now, it means something. It means something
to me. Where's the CV clip? It means something to me. Where's the CV clip, man? Run it,
means something. It means something.
Because it means something to me.
I hadn't even seen that before. That's hilarious. But we'll see, man. But no, we need Kudus. We need Kudus.
It'd be a brilliant signing for anyone. I generally think it'd be a brilliant signing for us. It'd be a brilliant signing for you, man. You man already know what I think of Martin. Like, I think he also plays in the 10, so he plays across the front three, so he can be used as Saka backup. He can be used as the starting left winger. You know what I'm saying? He can play in all types of positions.
The only problem is his price tag. His price tag is going to be that of a top player because West Ham are they're not easy to get players.
I'm pretty sure it's like an 85 million release.
83, yeah, it's saying 83, but that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like, I don't think that's a mad because everyone can see with their eyes how good bro is. Like, I think everyone.
But I'm saying for Arsenal, it depends on whether we decide to say 83 on Kudus or we say let's go 110 for Isak, for example, because that's how much he's going to be. Isak's going to be 100 plus. So for me right now, we need Kudus, but we definitely need Isak.
Yeah, Isak, I think is should be more priority for me. You can get a left wing, like even if you had to try him at left wing at one point.
No,
like,
but I mean the difference with left wingers. I mean, there's other players that you might say, oh, listen, let's go and get Semenyo, for example, that can kind of you feel like can also play a role like that and stuff like that.
I hear you, but
you can't go and buy Isaks every day.
You know, it's just with Arteta, isn't it? I think he's made it clear like he wants players that can have a different kind of player in different kind of positions. Like he said, if it's midfield, if you have an Isak, all of a sudden your combination also could be an Isak Saka, and then all of a sudden you do play a Havertz up front. It still works regardless.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he still has a bit of he can do.
But I like proven Premier League players as well. Like a lot of people want the Osimhen's and the Gyökeres. This is why these guys are so worth so much because they've proven their worth, man. That's what I need.
Yeah, but by the way, anyone that wants Gyökeres, just you lot already know where he's going, innit? Come on, man. Just know in it. Just know your roles.
You're so hell bent on that. I don't know why.
Man, did he call me Ben? That's crazy. But what's it called? That's a good segue on it, man. Because we're gonna do some AMORIM Man United predictions. We'll see with there's Gyökeres links. Don't get me wrong, but it's not today to talk about, especially. But actually, we could do. But let's talk about AMORIM's Man. Let's talk about some Man United predictions. What do you expect out of AMORIM? What do you think is gonna happen?
You expect him to start challenging for titles. I'm assuming. That's what the Man United fan base are expecting. They're not expecting anything else. Man United are a massive institution, so expecting them to go back to the top. But that expectation of how quick it is more the issue.
So what's your predictions for United? Like
I feel like he's a brilliant manager, and I feel like it takes some time to adapt, man. He's got he's got a lot to change, and whole system, a whole new way, his whole coaching team. Ruud van Nistelrooy is still there. Is he still going to be there or not? No one even knows.
No, he's gone. No, he's gone.
No, he's gone.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah, proper gone.
Oh, is it?
Gone. Yeah.
So that means AMORIM said he didn't want him then. That's what that means.
He didn't want him. Yeah,
Brought his own staff. AMORIM's had his own coaching staff literally since the day he started managing. Like from was it Braga? I don't think it was Braga.
Casapia.
Yeah. Literally all the way up until now. So he brought everyone.
He brought in I think he brought in about 4 or 5 staff. 2 coaches, assistant manager, goalkeeping coach, and I think a sports science. No, a sports analyst. Some sports analyst or sports scientist, something like that. Anyways, who used to work actually at Liverpool, and Arsenal, and done a stint at Arsenal behind the scenes as well. So yeah,
I didn't know Ruud had gone.
Yeah, Ruud went. He said
you feel like he should have kept him, or what do you think?
Nah. I think you know what it is. Yeah, if the players didn't come out and say we want him to stay, then I would have been like, yeah, you know what, I'm open to the idea. But the fact that there's a link between the players and the manager in case thing goes tits up, everyone goes to Ruud all of a sudden because they've got they're more friendly with him. All of it. I think there could become a potential issue. You're going to Ruud and not to AMORIM. So on that note, it's no. I think it's with me with Ruud as well. I think it's kind of shown like you shouldn't be an assistant manager anyways. You suit being a manager somewhere. You look like a head coach. You've got the stature of a head coach. You clearly can manage some games as well. Go be a coach. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I think it's a nice idea to keep a legend around the club. He did it with Sporting, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? He kept someone around a little bit older than him. I can't remember his name exactly, but I'll be doing a video on it on my channel about all the coaching stuff. He did keep one around so they can show him about Sporting, etc., etc. But at this point, I don't think there should be the sentimental thing in and around him. It should be all about him and not about anybody else that's there. Do you get what I mean? So it could overshadow him. So I don't reckon it would be a good idea. So yeah, I know Ruud was a coach at PSV, but I think he can do it better than the PSV job. I'll be real. So yeah, I don't know.
I feel like AMORIM's coming into a tricky spot, man. I feel like he's got the credentials. He's got the credentials, and he's got the, you know what I mean, like that character.
He's got the Moncler jacket. You know what I mean?
He's definitely got the character to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely got to give him time, man. And you got to let him stamp his authority. Don't start after a few maybe not so good results or not everything you want to see straight away. Start talking about what's he showing after 5 games, because he's coming in the middle of the season. Like, he's got to be able to give him. You got to give him time. And I know you, Kaz, you're not on this giving people time thing. So
I am. What did you mean?
You said you want him to win the league in a year and a half or something.
So basically, not next year, the year after.
Yeah, that's madness.
No, it's not madness. Ralph Rangnick said himself.
We're going back to that again.
Ralph Rangnick even said himself, one of the OGs in the game, said you don't need 3-4 summers to go and win a league. It only takes 2 if you've got a good board.
What he said. We know you've watched football for years. You know what the Premier League's like. You can't just come in and win the title. It doesn't work like that, bro.
How can you say that? But how can you say that? Like in terms of,
because I've been watching football for years. That's why.
Yeah,
I know how it works.
You don't need 3-4 years.
What do you mean? So you need 1 year then?
Jurgen Klopp took 2 years before he started.
Is AMORIM Jurgen Klopp? Is that what you're saying?
At this point, the way he's getting built up to be, maybe, because you know what? They were actually quite similar. Dortmund all of a sudden won the league. All of a sudden, same thing with Sporting when it comes to breaking up the power play. Back in what's it called?
He's not at Sporting. He's at Man United. It's a completely different expectation, bro.
Let me ask you. I don't want to talk down to you, or anything like that. You're older than me, innit? Yeah. But if you were someone a little bit younger, I would have absolutely slaughtered you.
You can't, because I know you can't.
No, but you said Klopp. Yeah, you said Klopp in the same sentence, obviously, with my man. When Klopp was in Bundesliga, when Werder Bremen and them man were doing bits, yeah, and also Bayern, or whoever it was, Mainz, or whoever was doing well at that point, right? Jurgen Klopp broke that duct with Dortmund. He went up from who is it? He was at Mainz before he did go to Dortmund, and all of a sudden made a name for himself. Now, if we compare that and we go over to the Portuguese league, yes, not as good as the Bundesliga, right? But he broke the duct between Benfica and Porto's power play with Sporting, and before then, even made a name for himself at Braga. And he was only there for 6 months or 7 months or something stupid like that. And then he won the league with them all of a sudden, made a name for himself, and now he's getting a bigger job. And Liverpool were also in a similar position where they just got new ownership back in 2014, 15 before FSG come in, had to get rid of the deadwood and everything. Coming through halfway through the season, by the way, something similar to AMORIM, who's obviously a few months in now into the league. He's coming to the Man United job. You can compare it a lot actually to what Klopp did, to be fair. The only difference with Klopp, obviously, is that in Champions League, man was 30. He was 30 a little bit, but then he lost the final. And Sporting ain't gone through further than that. And then even with Sporting, from 2015 to 17, Liverpool were in the building phase. It took them 2 summers, right? So you got couple summers before, obviously, Mane's and Salah started coming in, and they started competing. So that's the same thing with United. They got new ownership. That's why I say you can actually have it as a comparison. Luckily for United, a lot of the people that needs to go are already in the last contracts, getting people in. You get 2 summers. Look at Chelsea all of a sudden. They've had a bit of a shit show. They've had to clear out a lot, but in 2 summers they look like a good team.
The league,
It doesn't matter.
You said a year and a half they should be winning the league.
I didn't. No, all right. I said no. I never. I said during that. So next summer you get your players in. Yeah, I think already United's board has catered to what he needs in some of the players. Not all of them, because I don't know about Xerxes and obviously like that for this summer. Not last summer. This one. Yeah, Euro, Mazraoui. You know, who else did I say? Agate, obviously, he knows that player and so forth. You get one more summer plus a January, then you get another January and a summer. So that's 2 summers. Because when you say a year and a half, people are going to think like, oh, you're thick as shit. But if you say 2 summers and then go and compete for the league and go to try win it, I don't think you need more than that, to be fair.
This is what you lot do. You always compare.
What are you on about? This is crazy.
You said this about Ten Hag. You lot said this about Ten Hag.
Yes. No, how about this?
And you was wrong. You
Who's
said this about Ten Hag.
Who's you lot? How about
your whole fan base? Your whole fan base said Ten Hag's in now. We're back now. That's what you said. Your whole fan base said it.
I'm going to compare it again then. And this is the difference of my standards to your standards as a club, because this is why you're always going to be my little brother. All the time, no matter how you want to do it, you're my little brother that moved out the ends and went down because your mom got married to a next guy that's from London, bro. That's the way it is. The difference is for me, yeah, is as simple as this. Ten Hag finished third in his first season and got a trophy. People expected a bit more of a progression and to get back with some of the players that should be suited to what we thought that he was going to bring in. United should have maintained their 3rd position or better to improve on that. That didn't happen exactly, yeah, because we all thought that Ten Hag was the next best thing. And at that point, let's not act like we're stupid now. People were rating Ten Hag at that point, including myself. Then the 2nd season happened and it absolutely collapsed, yeah. And in the 3rd season, you got a new structure and obviously more was exposed in the air. If the 2nd season went well and he finished 2nd or 3rd, got the FA Cup still and looked at Sion, in this 3rd season, if we're keeping it a buck, we expect him to go and challenge for the league no matter what. Because you've had 1, 2, at that point, 3 summers, you're going into your 3rd season. You don't need 4 seasons, basically, to go and build a squad, especially with how much Man United spend. So I'm not exactly making no sense here. That's the difference with United.
You're making 0 sense.
What do you mean? It doesn't take 2.5 years to go and develop your style.
You're comparing AMORIM with Klopp. You're doing all these things.
Yeah, but
you're comparing him with all of these
I can't talk with you.
You're comparing him with all of these greatest managers because he's coming to United. Because he's coming to United. For all of a sudden, AMORIM's the best manager in the world. So he's the best manager in the league.
No one said that.
He must be. Because all of a sudden,
no one said that.
Hold on. So if Pep stays, you still expect AMORIM to beat Pep?
Yes.
Because AMORIM's better than Pep, right?
I didn't say he's better than Pep.
He must be.
So wait, hold on. But your fan base, not you in particular, have also stated that Arsenal should be going to win the league. So all of a sudden, now I can put that.
Well, the reason why. Is
Arteta better than Pep?
You're not understanding. You
don't
get
answer my question. Stop doing Piers Morgan.
You don't
answer
get
my question. No, I do get it. I've made fair comparisons.
It's not fair comparison.
Is Arteta better? Answer me.
The difference is Arteta came in. Do you want to listen or not?
No, because answer my question. Is Arteta better than Pep?
I don't answer your questions. I'm telling you what I'm saying. This is what I do. Telling you. What I'm telling you is you seem to think that AMORIM is going to come in and all of a sudden he's going to be better than all of these managers in the league. And you're just saying that because this guy. Yeah, it's exactly what you're saying.
No, you're saying again. You're doing up your best Piers Morgan.
Are you going to let me finish? Are you going to let me finish or not? You can let me finish or not?
No, because not really, because you just dismissed everything I just said. So I'm going to dismiss everything.
What do you mean? You compared him to Klopp. You compared AMORIM to Klopp.
I did.
Excuse me?
Why?
Because I made a fair comparison. Yeah. So Klopp back in the day, yeah. Klopp came from Mainz to Dortmund, yeah. No one knew who Klopp was. AMORIM come from Braga to Sporting. No one knew who he was. All of a sudden, Dortmund came out of the blue, out of the woodworks. They ain't been a great club since '96 when they won the Champions League, yeah, because they went into a bit of a stint of obviously they owed a lot of money out, yeah. Which if you know your history, then you know what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. They came back out of the blue into the works. They had Lewandowski, the Gertzes of the world, yeah. They had a good team, Hummels, yeah. Same thing with my man. I said what you can say. I said the Bundesliga is obviously better than the what's it called, the Portuguese league. But in the same stint, Klopp won the league the same way Sporting won the league when he come in the first couple of seasons. Yeah, but so this, I think Sporting did too, if I'm correct. So on that, and they're doing really well this season. And they were actually going to blow it away, to be fair. 30 goals scored and 2 goals conceded at that point. And I said, cool. The same way, remember, Liverpool got new ownership. Klopp came into the helm. Yeah. Man United just got new ownership. AMORIM's coming into the helm. And the thing is, in 2 seasons, Liverpool cleared a lot of their shit. And in 2 seasons, I expect in 2 summers, shall I say, I expect Man United to clear a lot of the last bits of crap. And in that 3rd season, Liverpool's team was absolutely ecstatic. And technically, you could take away half of that as well. Because it's the same, because he came through halfway in December, right? So in a season and a half, 2 summers, Klopp got rid of all your man that you didn't need, like Moreno and all that, and got who you needed. You know, Mane coming already. You know, Firmino's coming in. Salah arriving. In that January, obviously, it was a big boost by Virgil van Dijk. I said, I expect the same thing with Man United. Got new ownership. He's going to get backed. And I expect after 2 seasons,
it's not Man United. Why do you keep saying what Klopp's done?
At that point, then Dortmund is not Liverpool and nowhere near Liverpool except for 1 champ in their life. Because you're doing a confused face because you're thinking of the Klopp that's already been in and around. No, I'm not saying AMORIM is Klopp. I'm comparing.
Did Klopp get to a Champions League final with Dortmund?
At the same success, I've compared.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
What?
Did Klopp get to a Champions League final with Dortmund? Yes or no?
Yes, of course he did. I said that.
Has AMORIM got to a Champions League final before?
I said that in different.
Stop comparing them. Stop comparing them.
We're comparing leagues. We're comparing the league, not the Champions League. The league.
Them.
Did he win? Bro, you are so in your Tottenham bag. It's unreal, yeah.
Tottenham.
No one cares if you haven't gone to a final, yeah. If you haven't gone to a final and won, no one remembers you in the next 10 years. You have to think who they played in the final. You're a loser. Do we praise Poch what rival fan praises Poch for getting to a final to a Liverpool team? Who praises that? Or do we
You're not in the real world. You're not in the real world. You're not in the real world. Because you're comparing him to Klopp. You're not in the real world.
I am. I said the relevance of their success, you can compare it. And in the situations of Liverpool and Man United who got new ownerships and then backed him and got rid of stuff in the summers that they needed, 2 summers, they were also competing. We also got called deluded because no one thought that was going to happen.
You said the same about Ten Hag. You said the same thing. Did you not? You said the same thing about Ten Hag.
They did. Bro, that is true.
I didn't. One
sec. The same thing about
when you say
it didn't work.
When
so
you say
you lot should be like, you know what? We've had this already with Ten Hag. So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna say, let's wait for him to come in.
We should never compare players and their trajectories ever again. By the way, ever again.
No, you should compare it. But you're saying AMORIM. You're saying AMORIM, and then you're saying
when it comes to players, don't compare them. But don't compare players. You can't do that because you can't compare. No one said it's going to happen. I said it's a comparison of similar situations.
A minute ago, it was your owners or our owners.
Yeah, new ownership. I said the same thing.
When we get new ownership, it will all change.
So you're saying Klopp's Dortmund tenure and AMORIM's Sporting tenure, there's
similarities. There's
similarities there, which hopefully could transpire over to Man United.
But obviously, I didn't say. By the way, my key word, I didn't say when. You know, in seriousness, I never said when United or when he's going to come or he's going to do that. I said there's a comparison why you believe that he could change things around. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But the whole point was, I expect after 2 summers months, him to have his team squad. Yeah, because there's already a few players that he can use now that I think are quite good for what he needs, right? In 2 summers, with the amount that United spend and back their managers, I expect that's following season after the 2nd summer that's gone by, not next one, the one after that. I expect United to go for the league a bit. Otherwise,
that's not what you said. That's not what you said.
Yes, I did.
That's not what you said. That is not what you said. You said you should win the league. You said you should win the league in a year and a half. That's what you said.
No, because that's what I said. If you take off 2 summers and say a year and a half, you're gonna make someone look like an idiot. So don't try and make man look like an idiot.
Then don't say it. You're in charge of your own mouth.
No. When you say a year and a half, this is what I'm saying. Yes, year and a half. I expect him to have his summer, but when people think a year and a half, they're probably gonna think in his 2nd season he should go win it.
You said
I said after the 2nd summer. The summer. There's a big difference, bro. How can you not comprehend that? Unless it's a lack of IQ skills or something. I have no idea, bro. What I said is wrong. In 2 summers, he should have his squad. If he doesn't go and compete and go and win the league after that, I don't expect Pep to be in no more, by the way. So that's irrelevant because he's gone. He said, no, because you tried to do this belittling thing, yeah.
No, that's what you do.
You tried to do this belittling thing.
You just talk a lot. You're talking a lot. You're talking a lot. It's not over talking that wins the argument, you know. It's not over talking that wins the argument. It's not over talking that wins the argument.
He tried to make me out to say that Amorim's better than Pep. No one said that. At the same breath, then Arteta's better than Pep because you lot, as you said, and not directly you. You said you're gonna go win the league. So technically, you should go. Technically, then from your comparison, then Arteta's better than Pep. The same way you tried to paint me.
I said to you, Amorim coming in to Man United. You as a Man United fan, have got to say what's happening in the league. You've got the best managers in the league already building their team. So for you to say in a year and a half, I expect him to be winning the league is crazy. If he does it, well done, Amorim. You're a genius. You're better than we thought you were. But you coming in saying, "Oh, I expect him to win the league in a year and a half," is madness. And the fact that you even think you're half
2 summers is the third season.
You're half right is even worse.
Thank you.
So, two summers is the third season.
Crazy for them to expect to win the league in their third season. So in Amorim's third season, they shouldn't have the ambition to win the league. Is that what you're saying?
Thank you.
Say that again.
No, is that what you're saying? So in Amorim's third season, you think that Man United shouldn't kind of think that Amorim can go in the league in his third season for Man United?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh,
that's exactly what I said.
So what is it?
That is
maybe because I joined late.
Not what you said.
Yes, it is because unless you're comprehending them, it's exactly that's exactly what I said.
What did you say? You said something about a year and a half. No,
you said a year and a half.
Thank you, Mons. This is what I keep saying, yeah? He's confusing and trying to paint it out to be something that it's not. A year and a half sounds mad when I said 2 summers. Next summer and a season. And
I'm not confused. A year and a half's a year and a half in whatever way you say it. Yeah. A year and a half doesn't change. A year and a half doesn't change.
By the way, you can't win a league in a year and a half because by the time it hits May, it'll be 2.5 years. 2.5 years in May. That's when it will be. That's what.
So bottom line is, the bottom line is, yeah, when I think this all got messed up in communication when there was a Klopp and an Amorim comparison. Yeah, I don't think sometimes when we make comparisons, it's not saying that Amorim's as good as Klopp because then you'd be crazy to say that.
Yeah, because Klopp's already done it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think in 2 summers, because that's 4 windows, by the way. In 4 windows, you should have enough players to call it your squad. I don't think it will be a complete squad overhaul, but you'd have enough players in your squad in it to call it your squad majority wise. I think at that point you can expect a challenge, and for the ones who are more hopeful can say we should be winning the league because we're Manchester United and we have our squad with the new manager now. But also there's a lot can happen in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I think Arsenal's
that's a different point. What you're saying there, yeah, is a more logical explanation as to what you think someone should potentially do. Kaz is thinking that Amorim's going to come in because they always think this. They always think the man coming in is going to change up everything. That's what they think. So if you're comparing him to Klopp, what I'm saying is Amorim should basically come in then and he should get top 4 this year, basically, and then challenge for the league and then go for the Champions League. That's what. So you expect the Champions League in about 2 years. We took 4 years. We took 4 years. I'm asking a question. It's a question. He's not giving him 4 years. He's not giving him 4 years.
I wouldn't say the Champions League, but the fact is he's been obviously Amorim's coming.
Then don't compare him to Klopp if you don't say Champions League.
No, I said his previous history. I said previous to his Liverpool reign, something that you're not actually comprehending. Weirdly enough, because I expected more from you, to be fair. So, anyways, regardless, I said previous to his Liverpool tenure, and I think there's a reasonable comparison whether you like it or not.
No, it ain't.
So anyway, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yes,
only
it is.
Only you think that. No one else would think that.
Well, in the chat, I've had quite a positive response in the chat with people who understand what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
You're not calling him. You can compare their situations and their success from Dortmund and also.
How many people you can compare situations to?
No one calls a final a success. You haven't won. This is again, like I said, difference in standards between fans. Yeah, like I said once, exactly how you explained it. Maybe I explained it wrong a little bit. But in 2 summers, as I said, he's still got half of this season, plus a January and another couple Januaries at that. I expect to have his squad and I expect him to go and win the league. I don't expect Pep to even be here in 2.5 years either. And at that breath,
it's an outrageous shout. at all.
Thank you. So there's someone on
like
the panel.
Even from a Chelsea perspective, yeah. Listen, we've got a manager that isn't as accomplished as AMORIM. AMORIM's got a lot of hype around him. He's got a lot of, I guess you could say, potential in a manager. Looking at our squad and stuff like that, and if we continue to play the way we're playing, I think by the third year, I'm expecting us to win the league.
Man, isn't it?
Like it's common thing. It's just you build on something, and over time you assume that thing's going to get better. And by the third season, I think everybody expects to be winning something. It doesn't take 3 seasons for you to get playing football properly. If you haven't stamped your authority and got your players in by then, I mean,
you know what it is, yeah? It's because I'm going to use the word they, as well, because you lot expected or whatever. These Arsenal fans who are in agreement mode with Mr. D here, Mr. Big Brother here, yeah, is the fact that they try to push what their standards are for their manager for wanting to keep him in. I hope you keep Arteta for all good reasons. So don't try to push your standards for what I can push towards my club. I think it's more reasonable. No, it is. It's nice. Just let me have my salty moment. Let me have my salty moment, man. Just have my salty moment.
It's got nothing to do with that.
Just let me have my salty moment because I need to go to Rance's show. But go on, last point.
Yeah, no, I just think that because obviously the AMORIM support is going to be inflated in it. Like, don't get me wrong, these men are inflating the thing with AMORIM because these men are like worse than what Chelsea were last season, bro. Like, it's bad what Manchester United are doing in terms of their style of play. You know what I'm saying? It's really bad. So for them to now come in and get a breath of fresh air, it's obviously going to be inflated. If it was Liverpool, it'd be the same thing. If it was Arsenal, it'd be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's that's the whole thing about getting a new manager. New manager bounce happens with the fans as well. I just think that I understand why someone will get their back up if you compared Klopp's tenure pre-Liverpool to AMORIM's, but there are actually similarities there. I'd still say Klopp's was better because there was Champions League stuff in there.
Yeah, I said that league. Though.
But in terms of the come up and the success of being a nobody, being a young manager, coming in, like, I understand what similarities you're trying to pinpoint, but it's obviously still a long shot. It's still a long shot when you talk about just looking at it on the surface. It's still a long shot, but I still think you do have to kind of wait and see what he does in this kind of first 6-7 months, and then obviously you can have more of an accurate opinion of what's going on. But I think, yeah, bro, after 2 summers, you can definitely say to most managers that are good enough to manage a top club, yo, are you challenging? You winning the league? Like, it's got to be one of the two. Like, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, off your pot, because that's the lifespan of a manager these days, man, innit? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's right, though, but
it's how quick he also stamps his authority. If he comes in and he makes an instant impact as well, say they're playing good football, they're getting, say even if they lose and it's unlucky losses, but you can see there's a progression there, yeah. Just in however long or for the rest of the season, because I mean the start's been shit, right? And there's not really much AMORIM can do. Like if other teams,
write this one down, by the way.
Yeah, what do you mean there's not much he can do? What do you mean there's not much he can do?
There's not much AMORIM can do this season. Like, Ten Hag started off really shit, and if other teams continue to perform how
he ain't gonna get in.
Kaz don't think that. Kaz was talking about maybe potentially getting top 4 this year.
Yeah, bro,
I mean, it is a possibility. I mean, Arsenal have dropped. I'll be honest.
It's a possibility that Man United are going to get top 4 this season.
Listen, Aston Villa are falling off as well. Like,
I can't. This is what I'm saying.
No, for me, there's an opportunity there. I said that actually. You should know that too. I said there's an opportunity for that. But the thing is, you're 4 points off of top 4. I know it's going to take a little while to establish what you want as well, and obviously the players might not be there. But you have to capitalize on some of these other clubs' drop-offs. You meant to have a bounce. You meant to have something that's going to push you and get you a bit, whether it's a 5-game, 6-game winning run potentially, or even a little blips here and there. There should be an opportunity for that, especially within Europa League. I do think you can establish yourself in November when you've got another 6 months and a half to play of football. I think there should be something there, but
I get what you're saying. But
thinking
that he potentially, like top 4 for Man United this season, because
it would be an overachievement if he gets that. For me, it's an overachievement considering how the club has been in terms of footballing wise.
What's Tuchel got to do with AMORIM? I don't.
Because I'm saying the situation was the same. We were like 9th. All of a sudden, Tuchel came in. We got top 4.
I need to wrap this now. Anyways, make sure you smash the likes, people. Subscribe to Famzone TV. They're gonna be there later. D, write this one down, please.
This is my guy, by the way. I don't want people thinking that we're arguing. We're not arguing, fam.
No. To be fair,
this is my guy, bro.
Heated discussion. We're gonna call it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna threaten mans with crisps and shit like that. Big up phase, isn't it? But Yeah, man. Anyone got anyone to shout out or anything? Anything coming up?
No. It's got greatest of all time today with you, hasn't it? I don't even know who's jumping on. Greatest 11 of all time we're doing today. I don't even know what time. 3 o'clock or?
I'm gonna say to be fair, because I'll redirect over my channel. It'll be 3:30, innit? So
3:30. Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I got something to shout out. Hey, listen, I posted something on
Greatest
Twitter.
11 of all time.
It was a Premier League Mount Rushmore in every position. Yeah, go blow that one up, yeah. Because listen, that's got a chance to make a bit of money on that one, you know.
We're not blowing nothing. Anyways, this is going to Rance's channel. Make sure you rate it. I'm a good half an hour late. He knows I was meant to be 15. Thanks to D. But here we are, man. Look, please, everyone, go and support Rance's channel. I'm gonna be there in the next now. And then yeah, man. It'd be nice to see a good few hundred of you over in there, innit? As I say, like, sorry I'm late, innit? Like, not afraid, sorry Cass is late, yada yada. In a bit.